Okay, great. We are live.
Yay!
We're live. So, Heather, my name is Johnna Bateman, and I also go by Grace. Whichever one you want to call me by, that's totally up to you.
All right.
Yes, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak with you and learn a little bit about you today. And one world, we're changing the world. We do that one family, one parent, one child at a time.
Child at a time. Yes, that's what
One,
I try to do. I used to be one of those people that was like, I'm going to save the whole world, but then I
right.
realized, no, let's just do one person, one family, one kid at a time, and
Yeah.
that's how you really make a difference. So,
Right. And just doing everything day by day, one step at a time. So
that's
before
it.
we get all into that, I do want to ask you a few questions if you don't
Sure.
mind.
Of course.
So I always like to know the relationship status of the women who I'm speaking with. What's yours?
I am married, happily married.
Okay, and how long have you been married?
We have been married for over 10 years now.
Okay, nice. Is this your
Thank
first
you.
marriage?
Oh, no. This is definitely not my first.
Okay, that's no
It is
issue.
it is number 4.
Really? Is that right?
That is right. Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Wow,
Yep.
that's an interesting story, Heather.
Oh,
So,
yes.
when was the first time you got married?
So, I got married when I was 22,
Mhm.
to a man that, has substance abuse disorder. So, he is an active alcoholic and drug abuser still to this day. So, you know, 26 years later, I can see in hindsight what I was dealing with at the time and what I would have stayed with if I was still there. So, we were only married for about a year, and then I got
Okay.
divorced, and then number 2 was the same thing, like, and then number
Mhm.
3, and then I just realized, like, one day, you know what? I'm giving more to people that should be my clients, but not
Right.
my husband. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it took me, unfortunately, a long time to learn that lesson, but eventually I did. I got it right, and now I'm married to my best friend in the whole wide world, and we
That's
have
great.
yeah, we have the best relationship, but, it wasn't it wasn't it wasn't my first time,
Mhm.
and his either. We both had to go through a lot of, not so nice stuff to get to a point where we were ready to have that beautiful, amazing relationship that we have.
Right. So when
Yeah.
you got out of your first marriage, that was just a year. You were only
Mhm,
about 22 years old.
mhm.
Did you even know him that long before you married him?
No, maybe a year or so, and, I always wanted to be a married person, right?
Mhm.
I love the idea of marriage, I love the
Mhm.
institute of marriage, I love the connection, and I'm a lifelong partner, you know what I mean? That's something that's natural, I think, for me,
Mhm.
um, but number 1, I didn't learn how to do it, right?
Right.
People don't teach you relationship skills. They don't teach you how to pick the right partner, right? Like
Right.
we do that, but in school we didn't learn that stuff. Um, so it took me a long time to learn those things, but I thought like, oh, this is going to be perfect because I'm mature for my age, even though I'm 22, and he's a lot older than me. He
How old
was
was he?
14 years older than me.
Okay.
So he
So,
was pushing 40, and I was just
yeah.
22 and, young and stupid and naive.
Mhm.
And, when he said, like, I will stop drinking after we get married, I just assumed that was true. I didn't even really
Yeah.
know what an alcoholic was at that time. So, yeah, so
Right, and
the
then
rest
how
is
long did
history.
it take you for, husband number 2?
We were married for like 7 months. I mean, it was like 2 seconds. I swear. I was just saying this to my daughter the other day. I was like, "You know what? My superpower is as soon as I find out it's wrong, at least I
Okay,
leave." You know?
that's what I'm saying, like, you like, "Hold on, I'm not staying." Look,
That's
the
right.
men who come to you, they like, "Hold on, she's not playing. If this
I'm
don't
not
work
playing.
out, I'm not
I'm
staying."
out.
Like
I'm out. Exactly. And that's what happened. So my second husband was is bipolar, has bipolar disorder
Mhm.
and a whole host of mental illness issues. And you know, I'm all for, I teach emotional intelligence. I'm
Mhm.
all for mental health and mental health awareness. But this was somebody that refused to get any kind of help, just
Mhm.
refused to take any responsibility for being a healthy person. And I was out. That was it. Nope, out.
Right. And then
So,
how long did you know him before you married him?
about a year, not long, about
Okay,
a
so
year.
you kind of think at when you were younger, you were marrying people who you should have just been dating and figuring more out about them, but because you
Right.
love the idea of marriage so much, and I think a
Right.
lot of us just like the idea, what we think is supposed to be,
Right.
like
Exactly.
right. So, how long did
Mhm.
it take you to find husband number three?
Um, not long
Uh-huh.
after number 2, honestly. And he and I were married for 10 years.
Husband number
Um,
three?
yeah, we were married for 10 years.
Wow.
But he was in the military and constantly gone. And, it was just like,
Mhm.
it just didn't work out. It just
Mhm.
didn't, it just wasn't working. So after we got divorced, I was like, that's it. I'm done, done, done. And this is all, I put all this out in my book too. Like,
Okay.
the funny part is I used to be like really humiliated by this story. And I was like,
Mhm.
who the hell's going to take relationship advice from somebody who's been married 4 times? And I was like, that's exactly why they should take advice from me. I've done it all, right? So now
Yeah.
I've worked with thousands of people. I wrote a book. It became a bestseller. Like, now I realize, and that's what I hope that anybody watching takes away. It doesn't matter what you're going through or what you've been through. You can start again right now today, and your past is nothing but experience. It's not something to
Right.
hold you back. It's just
Right.
experience. And that's, now you get to share that with the world, right? And you don't have to be
Mhm.
embarrassed of it.
Right.
So,
So when it comes
yeah.
to your children, who did you have children with?
Um, 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, so you had one with each one of them.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one, two, and so you don't have any with number four, and you don't want
Mm-mm.
none with
Well,
either.
no, I know, right? Too many. Because he had 3 and I
Okay.
had 3. And so when we got married, I had 6 kids.
Right.
But then my husband and I also took in 4 kids that didn't belong to either one of us. They were like one was homeless, one was kicked out of his house for multiple reasons. The other one, his parents were drug dealers and drug abusers.
Uh-huh.
So we ended up taking in 4 boys that didn't belong to either one of us. Like, we both have, again, like I said, these the first husbands are people that should have been my clients. You know what I mean? I have
Right.
this heart of service. And my husband does too. So when we got married, we had all these kids, and then we took even more kids in, which was crazy at times, but
Yeah, how did that make the household?
ridiculously loud. But it was fun. It wasn't perfect. We had,
Right.
when you have that many teenagers in your house, of course there's going to be like some drama. But my husband and I were resolved to make it work and learn how to make relationships work. And that's what I was saying. So after I got divorced the 3rd time, I was like, that's it. I quit. I'm never getting married again. I'm done. Like, that's it. I don't want any part of this. And then I enrolled in a whole bunch of courses and classes, and I literally learned how to make relationships work. And then when I met my husband, I was not interested in dating or
Mhm.
being married ever again, anything like that.
Okay.
But
That's
when
good.
yeah, when you know, and I was like, holy crap, this
Yeah.
is like something's real here. And so we knew each other for a long time, and before we started dating, and then we started co-parenting one of the kids that I had taken in together, even though he wasn't either of our kid.
Mhm.
He was helping me out with this young man that was like, had a lot of issues. And so and we just kind of like fell in love.
Okay.
And that was
Wow.
like,
So
okay.
you all just chose to co-parent and then you fell in love?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I had taken in this one child who happened to be friends with one of his kids. So
Mhm.
we knew each other through the children, and it
Wow.
just kind of worked out that way. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that is so interesting. So now that you're in your fourth marriage, have you decided that you're gonna kind of like be committed through the good and the bad times?
Oh yeah, we decided that long, long, long ago. I mean,
Mhm.
we've been married for over 10 years now, and it's
Mhm.
just like, he's literally my best friend. And It's funny because my mom always told me, I would never tell her this, that she was right, but she always said, marry your best friend, find a friend, be best
Right.
friends with them, and then marry your best friend. And that's what I did. And I mean, just every single day is a blessing and amazing. And
Right.
we have this crazy adventurous life together, and it's just awesome.
Right. So, what do you say to those people who do, like you said before, you've been married 4 times? How are you going to give me advice? What do you say to those people?
Well, yeah, first of all, nobody's ever said that to me except for I
Okay.
said it to myself. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? It was myself holding myself back.
Uh
Nobody's
huh.
ever said that to me. Everyone that, like all of my clients, all of my students, because I run a life coach training school, all of my students have read my book.
Yeah.
They know the story, and they know that our stories are our experience. They're literally the foundation on which I built my business as a
Mhm.
relationship expert. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Yes.
um, yeah. So, and if
Mhm.
anyone ever did question it, I'd say, well, do you want results, or do you
Right.
want to pick apart my relationships?
Right.
That's
Right.
fine.
Right.
Either way, read the book. I don't hold anything back. I tell it all.
Right. You're not
Um,
ashamed.
yeah. And we learn from things. And if we
Absolutely.
don't, then that's the problem,
And
you
that's when
know?
it keeps happening over and over and over again. And by the way,
Exactly.
your hair is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank
Um,
you. It's kind of like getting in my face at the moment. I have my camera like I'm looking down, so it keeps falling in my way. But thank you. That's sweet.
oh, yes, absolutely. So, how do your students or your the people who you mentor, how do they find you?
Well, I'm online. I'm everywhere. I have a really huge TikTok following, and
Okay.
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, all
Right.
those places.
What's your
Or
TikTok? I don't even really use TikTok like that, but I would like to.
Inspired Heather. Oh, you've got to get on the TikTok.
I
It's
know.
so
I
fun.
mean, I want to know, like, how do you even have time to? Because to me,
I
when I
know.
look at TikTok, it just looks so time consuming. Like to make all
It's
those
not.
videos.
No, it's not. I mean, I do usually do mine like once a week. I just have like 4 or 5 hours set aside, and once a week on one single day, I knock out a whole bit. Like I'll do 20 or 30 videos at once.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah. And there's just and most like 90% of my videos are relationship advice. The rest, sometimes I'll do a little fun stuff, or I'll
Mhm.
sprinkle in stuff with my kids or my grandson or whatever. But for the most part, it's relationship stuff.
Right. So I just have one more question about your past relationships concerning your
Mhm.
children. I
Mhm.
know that in your first, I guess the first relationship and then the second one,
Mhm.
the children were actually really young when
Yeah,
you left from your husband, right? At the time.
right.
So did they even remember or
No.
at the
Nope,
time?
not at all.
So, but when they got to the third husband, right? How was that when you left? Like,
Yeah,
how did that affect them?
they were older at that point, and it was just a lot of communication. But I mean, luckily, right? Luckily for me, because he was in the Navy, he was always gone anyway, so they were used to him not being home. Do you know what I
How when
mean?
you say he was gone, how long was he gone?
Like 6 months at a time on a
Wow.
ship. Yeah. So, mhm.
Ooh. And then he would come back for how long?
A couple of months here and there. I mean, it was really, really like, you know,
Yeah.
like crazy schedule.
Like
So,
every year for 10
oh
years?
yeah, every year, right?
Oh my
That's how it
gosh.
always was. So, and it was like fine for me. I don't mind. I don't mind that because I was raised as an army brat, and we moved every two
Okay.
to 3 years. So that kind of thing, that didn't really bother me. But it kind of actually worked out well, I guess, in the situation because that's what they were used to anyway. So
Right. And how is their relationship with them now? With him now?
wonderful. Oh yeah, wonderful. And
That's
we all
good.
co-parent fine and get along. I mean, the kids are all old now. My baby is 19.
Okay.
I have a grandbaby now. So,
Okay.
but yeah, we all got along just fine and co-parented fine and everything. So,
Is your grandbaby there now?
yeah, can you hear him? You hear
I
him?
heard a little bit in the background. I'm used to
Yeah.
those sound. I have a little one as well. So,
Yeah, he's
what
downstairs.
I wanna know more about. I mean, your website is amazing.
Thank you.
You have so many different things that you do. Heather Paris is a certified family life coach. That's number one.
Yes.
Strategic interventionist. That's number two. Marriage educator. That's number three.
Yep.
Yogi,
Yep.
certified breathwork practitioner and neuro-linguistic programmer. I mean, that's like 6 different things, and you probably more, right? You
Oh
also have
yeah,
a life inspired now low life coaching school. Can you talk a little
right.
bit about that?
About the coach training school.
Just about whichever one resonates the most. There's so much. I know we want to hear about all of it, but
Yeah, so I opened the so here's the gist of it. Like everything is under the Live Inspired Now. That's my website, liveinspirednow.com. Everything's kind of goes under that, right? I mean,
mhm,
the basic principle of everything that I do is to live your best, most inspired life. Don't
mhm.
stay in a bad marriage. Don't stay in a bad relationship. Don't stay in a bad job. You know what I mean? Like just
Yes.
live inspired now, not tomorrow, not in 10 years, not when the kids graduate, because now is all we really have, right? You
Yes.
know, how many times, like my best friend passed away in her 40s, you know, she had cancer and she died,
Wow.
and she was waiting until the kids moved out to do this and that. Guess what?
Really?
That time didn't come. Do you know what I
Oh
mean? So
yeah.
I'm all about live inspired now. And everything kind of falls under that umbrella. So
Mhm.
I wanted to surround, because I am this way and I have always been this way. I wanted to surround myself with other people who are this way. And not
Yeah.
only that, but going through all these different stages and different marriages and periods of being a single mom with 1, 2, and then 3 kids. Everyone was always like, well, how do you do it? Like, how do you stay so
Yeah.
positive? How do you do everything? And I was like, how do you not? Like, this is, we only get one life. Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna waste it. I'm not.
Right.
I've made lots of mistakes. I fully
Okay.
own up to them, but I don't want to waste a single minute. And so I wanted to find other people that had that same kind of attitude, or were at least open to learning that, right? So I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? I have all these clients. This is great. But you know what? I'm going to start certifying people to do what I do. And so that's when I opened the Inspired Life School, because I basically wanted to surround myself with like valued people. And I was like, well, if I can't find them, I'll train them. So
Wow, that is so neat. How did you start your school? Like, did you
it was
when you think about starting a school, does it sound hard? Oh my gosh, starting a school.
Yeah, it was really daunting. I mean, I literally was driving one day, I got inspired. I pulled over on the side of the road and I sketched out all my ideas in an outline on a piece of scrap paper, and then drove home and like started outlining it, figuring it all out. And you know, I took a couple of business classes and different things like that, and I just figured out how to do it. You know, just I didn't know how. And I think that's one of the biggest things,
Mhm.
one of the biggest messages that I'd like people to take away too, is you don't have to know how. Figure it out.
Right.
I didn't know how it
Right.
was going to happen. I just did it one
Mhm.
step at a time. Just do the next
Right.
one, the next one right thing. And so I was like, okay, I have an outline. Now the next thing is to put it on paper, type it up. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
next step, next step, next step. And
Right.
really, there's literally nothing you cannot learn to do in today's day and age. We have
Right.
a computer or phone, you can learn anything.
Right.
So,
And what's one way specifically? Well, there is one thing I did have a question about.
mm.
What is a neuro linguistic programmer?
Yeah, so an NLP practitioner is just somebody who helps people change their lives using language.
Okay.
So it's learning how linguistics and how language really, really affects what you do, how you present yourself, how you look at things, and it gives
Mhm.
you a deeper understanding in other people as well. Does that
Can
make
you give
sense?
me not really, not really fully because I've never heard of that before. So, can you give me like a sample? Like, what would be like a reason for me to need a neuro linguistic programmer? Like, what would be going on in my life specifically?
Well, pretty much anything, right?
Okay.
Absolutely anything. I mean, it's how we use, it's the practical use of language.
Okay.
Okay? So like you can say, like, the law of attraction, you've heard of that, right? The law of
Yes.
attraction, or
Mhm.
yeah. So the law of attraction, you might say, there's no weeds in my garden, there's no weeds in my garden. And if you believe it, and according to the law of
Oh,
attraction, if you'll
okay.
manifest that, right? Well, that
Okay.
actually doesn't work. Okay. There's
You
something
gonna
that,
upset somebody saying that.
yeah. There's more to it. First of all, it requires action, right?
Okay.
So if there's
Yes.
weeds in your garden, go pull them out. That's number one. But number two, it's about how you use your language. Rather than saying there's no weeds in my garden because that's a negative, you
Mhm.
say my garden is lush and beautiful. My garden is lush and
Okay.
beautiful.
I
And then
like
if
that.
there's weeds, I'm going to go pluck them out myself. It's just a
Right.
practical application for language, and it really does rewire, right? It rewires your brain. And once you rewire your brain and you start looking at things more positively or at least more
Mhm.
practically, you can accomplish more things, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it's like just being more optimistic about the way you speak.
Yeah, I mean, it goes a little further than that, but that's,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 definitely.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I got you. I got you. So
Yeah.
Heather, I know that I mean you have a lot to talk about. I'm sure we couldn't get it down in one sitting. Um, I appreciate you giving us your time and
Thank
knowing more
you.
about you. You have so much to talk about, and it's in your book, right?
Yes, yeah.
Where can we find that book of yours?
So the book you can get anywhere on any booksellers, Barnes and Noble,
Mhm.
Amazon. You can get it at my website if you want it
What's your
autographed.
website again? Hold on.
Yep,
Hold on.
it's
It's
liveinspirednow.com.
okay. I'm going to put that right here.
Yeah.
Live inspired now, not
Now,
tomorrow.
not tomorrow,
Not
now.com.
tomorrow. Look, every
Yeah.
time I type something up here, it always messes up anyway. Liveinspirednow.com. And that's how they find you. That's how they do you do any type free call so people can
Oh
know if
yeah,
they really need to
absolutely.
speak with you or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, just send me a message or go to there's a link in my bio on Facebook, on Instagram, on
Yeah.
TikTok, wherever you find me, there's a link in my bio and you can literally just click that link and set up a free call with me.
Okay, great. And did you want to say anything before we leave?
Oh, I'm just so thankful that you asked me to do this. I'm just
Yeah.
thrilled. So thank you so much. But again, if you're watching this and you think that anything in your past is going to hold you back, it's not. Only your attitude about it is going to hold you back. So change your attitude, change your life, live inspired now, not tomorrow. Like just do it. It's experience. It's practical experience that you can apply to not only change your own life, but everyone else's too.
Absolutely. So we thank everyone who's watching and we will see you on Thursday.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, my dear.